Hello, hello, it's Dolly, and it's Friday, which means it's Mixed Media Frenzy Day with Krista, the two Cathys, Ronnie Sue, Scrappy Sisters, and myself. All of us ladies are scrap lifting the same layout, and this is a layout that we are scrap lifting. And the original creator and where it was posted is in the upper right hand corner. I cannot read it at this moment doing the voiceover. These are the products that I pre-selected. I went in my scrap bin just to pick out some pinks and purples, and then picked out some pinks and purples in my inks and in my paints, picked out some stamps, picked out some embellishments, some jewels. Off camera, I went ahead and cut my photograph in that wonky diamond shape. We'll come back to that in a minute. I am putting a little tiny dot of the Dylusion paint in Crushed Grape. I'm taking a round paintbrush to smear it around, and I am going to do the smooshing technique. Now, off camera, right where you just saw me rub my hand down, I prepped it with clear gesso because I want my paint to sit on top. It's not necessary to do that unless you want to be able to have some more control with your paint. And if you get it too dark, you can actually take a baby wipe and take some of it off if it hasn't dried. But you do got to work fairly quickly. Now, once I was done with that, I put another little dot of the Peony blush, which is just like it says. It's a very light pink, and using the round paintbrush to put that paint where I want it to be rather than doing the smooshing technique. I really wanted the Crushed Grape to be more of the focal point and the blush paint to just be like the accent. And then I will also splatter some of that on there. Now I'm bringing back the photograph, and I freehand cut that off camera, and I also freehand cut when I matted it on black cardstock. All right, now I'm using Close to My Heart archival ink and this kind of wonky circle, and I cannot tell you what collection that came from. It is not a Close to My Heart product, and I did first, second, and third generation stamping. And yes, it's kind of bright right there by the photograph, but I know that I'm going to do some paper layering under that photograph, so most of it's going to be covered, which is just perfect. Now I have this heart clear stamp, and I'm using Tim Holtz Distressed ink in chipped sapphire, and I am just creating like a zigzag going up horizontally. Or no, I'm sorry, vertically, not horizontally, vertically going up. Same thing. I'm doing first and second generation stamping. Then I realized my block kept sticking to my 12 by 12 paper, and I'm like, what's going on? There was a little bit of adhesive on the backside, so you saw me rub that off. Next, I'm taking this stamp that has little tiny triangle shapes running vertically in a row, and I am going to stamp that 3 times vertically. No, I said vertically. Yeah, vertically. I'm sorry, vertically over the mixed media and over the hearts. Again, that just adds some more character and depth to this layout. And then once I'm finished with that, I am going to take my scraps and I'm going to tear some thin pieces off and layer and tuck them in the upper portion of the layout, just like in the layout that we are scrap lifting. And then I will bring in a single word, again, just like the layout that we're scrap lifting. And then after that, I take those scraps and I tear them some more, and I just layer them under my photograph, which is cut in a wonky triangle shape. The layout that we are scrap lifting, you'll notice that that photograph is in a diamond shape, or they cut it square and then turned it, and then they took a bunch of twine and wrapped around and layered on the outside, which looked really, really cool, but I just didn't have the right twine available here at home. So I decided to forego that. All right, next to that word lovely, I put that flower piece there. It's kind of a rubbery flower piece, and I think it came out with an Amy Tan or Dear Lizzie collection. I took that metal heart, tucked it under the word lovely, so it created 3 elements for that cluster. Then I used my stamp circle, the heart, and that pink bow as another cluster. And then I'm thinking, oh, it's just still too much space there. And I want your eye to continue to come down to the photograph because it's sitting at the bottom all by itself. So I've got to train your eye and anyone else that's looking at this layout to keep moving down. So now I'm going to place this arrow that's a sticker, and I did cut it down by the end of it, whatever you call it, the feather part would be, to shorten it up because it was too long. And again, it's just another element to draw your eye down to the photograph. Now I'm taking this other stamp that says Life is Good, and I'm not sure what collection that came from, but it is an old Heidi Swapp stamp, and I am using Tim Holtz Distressed Ink and Picked Raspberry, and I'm placing that on the side there. All right, we're coming up to the end, and I'm going to add some jewels in 3 different places. Oh, I'm going to add this word love too underneath the photograph, but I'm going to add jewels and some purple enamel hearts. Before I forget it, I need to tell you to look in the description box below so that you can hop over to the other ladies' channels to see their scrap lift of the layout that we're scrap lifting. I don't know if that made any sense, but I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed. We have some very awesome, talented ladies, all right? And you need to go check out their version so that it inspires you to get out your mixed media and play with it and create, even if you just do an art journal and you don't add any photographs. That's one way to learn about your products, get more comfortable, and then you can start incorporating them onto layouts, or you can just go for it and give it a try. The kissing technique is the most easiest technique out there. You really can't mess it up. All right, and to finish off this layout, I decided to use the Tim Holtz Distressed Ink and chipped sapphire and ink the entire edge. All right, I appreciate you all. Thanks for stopping by and supporting our channels. Give us a thumbs up and definitely keep coming back. And we will see you next Friday, but I hope I see you sooner because I'm always posting. Bye.